Welcome back for the epic battles between Drax and Captain America. Before we dive into the story, I just want to say thank you all so much. In a vast universe where stars twinkled like forgotten jewels, a terrible accident occurred. After the fierce battle with Thanos in Infinity War, Drax the Destroyer, the indomitable warrior from the planet Kylos, was sucked into the vortex of the Space Stone. The Space Stone, with its reality-manipulating power, tore through space and flung him into a parallel dimension. Drax awoke in a dense forest in Wakanda, where ancient trees reached for the sky, lush green leaves obscured the sunlight, and the air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and wild flowers. He staggered to his feet, his massive body, with its glistening gray-blue skin shining under the filtered light from the canopy. His muscles rippled as if carved from granite, and his bloodshot eyes burned with an eternal hatred. Drax was not one for deep thought. He was a machine of destruction, born to avenge his family massacred by Ronin. At this moment, only one thought filled his mind: find and destroy anyone who reminded him of his old enemy. Not far away, Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America, was training alone in this wild forest. After major events, he chose this place to find temporary peace, away from his teammates and heavy responsibilities. Steve wore a simple combat suit, sweat glistening on his chiseled face, his blonde hair disheveled. He threw his vibranium shield, letting it ricochet between tree trunks, then caught it perfectly. That shield, a gift from Wakanda, was a symbol of his indomitable spirit, absorbing all impact and reflecting its owner's strength. Suddenly, Drax lunged out of the bushes, his twin sharp daggers glinting in his hands. He saw Steve's star-spangled suit and immediately made a mistake. In his hazy memory, images of Ronin's henchmen appeared, with their strange attire and deadly weapons. "You, Ronin's lackey, today I will tear you apart to avenge my wife and child," Drax roared, his voice echoing like thunder through the green forest. Steve spun around, startled, his hand gripping his shield tightly. He didn't know who this stranger was, but his warrior instincts told him this wasn't a friendly encounter. "I don't know what you're talking about, but if you want to fight, go ahead," Steve replied calmly, his deep blue eyes flashing with determination. Without another word, the battle between two warriors from two different worlds began. Drax charged like a storm, his daggers swinging down with terrifying force. Each slash was powerful enough to cleave an ancient tree, the air ripping with a terrifying whistle. Steve dodged nimbly, his super soldier body moving like lightning, his vibranium shield raised to block critical blows. The clang of metal echoed, sparks flying from the blades as they scraped against the indestructible shield. Drax let out a booming, wild laugh, filled with excitement. He didn't feel pain like ordinary beings. His body was trained to endure all torments. A punch from Steve landed on his chest, the force enough to shake the surrounding earth and rocks, but Drax only staggered back a few steps, the bruises quickly disappearing thanks to his incredible regeneration. "You're strong, but not strong enough to destroy me," Steve gasped, feeling the raw power from his enemy. This was no ordinary opponent. Drax was like a living mountain, fierce and unyielding. But Captain America never gave up. He began to use his speed, circling Drax like a phantom, throwing his shield to ricochet from multiple directions to distract him. The forest became a living battlefield. Trees toppled, rocks flew everywhere, roars blending with the clang of metal. Each of Drax's blows carried destructive power, enough to crush boulders, while Steve used his intellect and skill to dodge, counterattacking precisely at the rare weak points. The Wakandan forest trembled under the might of the two combatants. Drax, with his unrestrained ferocity, engaged in close combat without strategy. He swung his daggers continuously, each thrust as if to pierce space, the blades glinting under the sunlight filtering through the canopy. Steve Rogers dodged skillfully, his body moving smoothly thanks to the super soldier serum, his reflexes faster than any human. A slash narrowly missed Steve's shoulder, tearing through the air and severing a large branch that crashed down. Captain America used his shield to block, then counterattacked by throwing his shield straight at Drax's chest. The shield flew, ricocheting off a tree trunk to gain speed, slamming hard into the alien warrior. Drax staggered, but in the blink of an eye, he snatched the shield out of the air with one massive, bulging, muscled hand. "Ha! Nice toy," Drax laughed loudly, throwing the shield back with many times the force. Steve jumped out of the way, the shield whizzing past his head and embedding itself deep in the earth. Without hesitation, Drax charged, using brute force to tackle his opponent. The two bodies collided powerfully, the ground beneath their feet cracking. Drax pinned Steve down, his hands clamping shut like vises, trying to crush his bones. But Steve was no amateur. With perfect judo technique, he reversed the situation, using Drax's momentum to flip him over his shoulder. Drax slammed onto his back, creating a large crater in the ground, dust flying everywhere. Steve leaped up, delivering a flurry of punches to his opponent's face, each blow carrying superhuman strength, enough to shake Drax's head. Green blood trickled from the corner of Drax's mouth, but he just laughed, his wounds healing rapidly before Steve's eyes. Remember to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon and turn on notifications to watch the earliest videos. Thank you very much. Pain only makes me stronger, Drax roared, getting up and wrapping Steve in a deadly bear hug. Steve's bones creaked, and his breathing became labored. Pain spread throughout his body, but Captain America's iron will would not allow him to surrender. He elbowed Drax's neck, then used his momentum to deliver a powerful knee kick to the abdomen. Drax released him, staggering back a few steps, but his ferocity only increased. He charged like a wild beast, his daggers stabbing relentlessly, tearing Steve's suit and inflicting deep cuts on his shoulder, soaking it with red blood. Steve defended with his shield, but each of Drax's blows made the shield vibrate, that raw power seeming to test the limits of vibranium. Steve began to tire, accumulated wounds slowing his body, but he was a master strategist. Instead of confronting him directly, he leaped onto a tall tree, using the environment to his advantage. From above, he threw large rocks and branches down at Drax to distract him, then swooped down like lightning, kicking his opponent hard in the head. Drax fell backward, his head hitting a rock, but he immediately got up, his bloodshot eyes filled with fury. "You think these childish games can stop me?" he growled, charging faster than ever. The battle entered its most intense phase, where stamina and will were tested to their limits. Drax's rage exploded like hellfire. He was no longer in control, only his destructive instincts remained. His daggers danced like a storm, stabbing and slashing relentlessly, tearing not only the air, but also Steve's armor. Deep wounds appeared on Captain America's body, blood gushing out, staining the forest floor red. Steve defended desperately with his vibranium shield, but Drax's immense power made his arm tingle with every block. The shield vibrated violently, absorbing the impact but unable to stop the force from pushing Steve back step by step. He leaped backward, using trees as cover, throwing his shield to ricochet from hidden angles for surprise attacks. Drax endured every blow, his body seemingly forged from cosmic steel. A shield blow to his head drew blood, but only seconds later, the wound closed. "I am immortal. You are just a worm," Drax yelled, charging forward and embracing Steve again, squeezing so hard that Steve's ribs audibly creaked. In extreme pain, but Steve did not fall. He used the edge of his shield to sever one of Drax's dagger blades, the shattered metal falling to the ground. Then he punched Drax directly in the eye, the force enough to make the alien warrior stumble. But Drax regenerated too quickly. He roared and punched back, that blow sending Steve flying backward, slamming into an ancient tree trunk, the wood splitting open. Steve struggled to his feet, his body weary from blood loss and accumulated wounds. He felt his stamina waning, while Drax remained as ferocious as at the beginning. The Kylos warrior charged, using raw power to overwhelm his opponent. In a moment of desperation, Steve employed his final strategy. He lured Drax into a precarious cliff face at the edge of the forest, throwing his shield to push him down into the chasm. But Drax, with his fierce survival instinct, grabbed Steve's collar and pulled him down with him. Both fell freely, the wind whistling past their ears, debris flying everywhere. Drax used his body to absorb the impact, hitting the ground first on his back, creating a large crater. He quickly stood up, his wounds healed, while Steve lay there, trying to recover. But even a super soldier's body had its limits. Drax approached. His final punch landed like a sledgehammer, knocking out Captain America. Steve collapsed, his body motionless on the ground, filled with withered leaves and debris. Drax stood there, panting, his body covered in wounds but rapidly regenerating. He looked at his defeated opponent, not Ronan, but his hatred temporarily subsided in victory. Drax the Destroyer was the survivor. His raw power, superior regeneration, and endless stamina helped him overcome a master strategist like Captain America. In a pure one-on-one duel, with no teammates and no major surprise elements, Drax's destructive instincts prevailed. The winner, Drax. What do you all think about this battle? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you all so much.